Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you 5 ideas of things you can do if you're interested in becoming a therapist someday, but you're not quite ready to take the step into applying to grad school, whether that's that you're not old enough or you haven't finished your bachelor's degree, or maybe you're thinking about a career shift and you're not certain yet. I love making these videos here on my channel because I talk so much about what it takes to be a therapist, what grad school is really like, and I get lots of questions about things that people can do when they're not quite at that point of like applying and actually taking those steps to become a therapist, but they want to start working towards it in a meaningful way. So if that sounds of interest to you, please keep on watching. Hi, my name is Alyssa Powers, and I created this YouTube channel to teach you the things that grad school didn't so you can thrive as a mental health therapist. Now, getting right into number 1 on my list, it might be the most obvious out of all 5 of these, but going to your own therapy. Now, I have shared on this channel multiple times that before I became a therapist, I had never been to therapy myself, didn't have a good grasp on what a therapist even did. And so if I could go back and give myself a piece of advice, I wish that I would have done my own therapy throughout college. I definitely needed the support at the time. And it also just would be a very eye-opening experience to be on the other side of the couch before you try to be that therapist role. And of course, not all therapists are created equal, and some people have poor experiences with their therapists. It's not to say that you need to find a therapist that you want to be like or emulate, but I think just being in your own therapy and seeing how the process works would be so incredibly valuable. Number 2 is talking to people who are already in the field. If you watch my videos, then you're already doing this, even though I know it's a one-way conversation where I'm just the one blabbing on, and I wish that we could chat more than just in the comments of these videos, but talking to people in your virtual life or your real life that are therapists and hearing their unique experiences, I think is also really valuable. I want to put a little disclaimer though. When you're looking online at people's experiences, you just have to know that there's a huge negativity bias. So I like to lurk on the therapist subreddit, and anyone can look at it. It's not a closed group. You're only allowed to contribute if you are a therapist. But the things I see on that Reddit board are so incredibly negative. Every once in a while, there's something funny or positive, but just know that people come to the internet often to complain and talk about things that are upsetting to them. So if you are looking online, that can be a scary and maybe a bit of a biased perspective. But I think talking to people in your real life that you know, or even just reaching out to people that work at private practices or agencies around you, or maybe you have a family friend that's a therapist or a psychologist or a social worker. So using your resources and getting that firsthand experience can be really important so you can ask all the questions that you have and just hear about all the different ways you can be a therapist in different settings and what you might want to do someday. Number 3 is reading books. Now, there are so many ways that you could take this. There are great therapy books that are kind of like our classic books on theories, but I'm just talking any book that has like psychology, behavior at its core, or even like the experience of therapists could be so useful. I really liked the book, Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. I think her name is Lori. I'm blanking on what her last name is, but that's a book about a therapist. It's written like a novel. I really enjoyed it. Of course, it's just one woman's experience, but that could be a place to start. And I think there's more and more great books on mental health. So whatever your interest is, like I'm assuming something's drawing you to this field. So maybe you're really interested in eating disorder work. Maybe you're really interested in Jungian therapy. Maybe you're really interested in, a certain kind of theory that you want to apply, or technique or disorder. Looking deeper into those things is just a wonderful thing to do so you can get the knowledge, but also just to make sure that you're, finding the things that really light you up and make you excited about the field. Okay, and number 4, this might be a little bit different than the other ones, but looking at your finances, if you know you want to go to grad school someday, I think you can never start planning too early for the cost of going to graduate school. So there are lots of ways to go about it. There's some really expensive programs that could cost you, 6 figures. There are programs that are more like 30K. I think I got out of grad school around 25K, and I paid as I went, and I didn't take on student loans. So you need to think, are you willing to do student loans? Do you need to work as you go and be able to pay for it? How are you going to do that? Do you have family help? Do you not have family help? Everyone's situation is different, but I think it's so important to look at how you're going to make this possible, because a lot of therapists end up so burnt out because they work their butts off in grad school, take on all the student loan debt, and then they're not getting paid very well straight out of graduate school either. So that's a whole other debacle. And this could really, like, the financial side of this could be an entire video. Let me know below if you would be interested in that, because I'm like a total personal finance nerd. I was really into paying off my student loan debt from my undergrad while I was in grad school. And so I have a lot of thoughts about that, but this isn't a personal finance channel and I don't want to bore anybody. But if you would be interested in how to plan for grad school, I would love to make a video on that. But just thinking about your finances and your situation, getting clear on it so you know what programs you can apply to. And last but not least, getting really clear on what your values are in life and then living them out in your current life, even before grad school, is going to be so invaluable, because if you're a person drawn to this field, I would guess that you have some values such as open-mindedness, creativity, curiosity, genuineness, empathy, things like that. There are so many other values that could be really, really wonderful for a therapist to have. But I think knowing what your values are and being able to apply them to your life now and being clear on what they are would just be a wonderful thing to guide your journey as a therapist and for you to know going into it. So if you're interested in that, I can leave the link to, there's an online version of a values card sort, which basically is a very simple tool that helps you figure out what your top values are in life. And you living those out is what is going to give your life meaning and also help you make wise decisions about your future. And becoming a therapist and putting all the time and effort into grad school and licensure tests and all the hours you have to get as an intern and then doing the work, like, it's really a lot. So I think that getting clear on what your values are that are guiding your life would just be a wonderful thing. So I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. I would love it if you would stick around, and I will see you next time. Bye.